Real Talk is proudly sponsored by Huawei P20 Pro and MTN.
Each week for 10 weeks, we're giving away the latest Huawei P20 Pro and 10 gigabytes once-off MTN data to 10 amazing storytellers. All you have to do is share your special moments with us. Follow at Huawei ZA and at MTN ZA and tag us with hashtag Huawei P20 and hashtag Real Talk Moments. We want to see and hear your stories and create lasting connections across the country. Each week there's a different theme, so keep checking our social pages for details and you could be a winner.
Good evening and a happy Friday to you, and welcome to Real Talk. Well, tonight we explore the dazzling and ever so spectacular world of drag. Drag has been an art form for over 100 years. Although people like Evita Bezuidenhout and RuPaul have made dragging more mainstream and accessible, this very niche form of showbiz is still considered to be one of the most underrated forms of art. My first guest this evening is the reigning queen of Miss Drag 2017. So allow me to welcome Zealand Ayoki to Real Talk. Hello, Queen.
Good evening, darling.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And yourself?
I'm super. It's such an honor to have you here. You're looking fabulous.
Thank you so much. You're looking exquisite yourself.
I tried to honor my guests today. I mean, we don't always dress like this, but we thought, you know what, today,
well,
why
it's
not?
Friday today, exactly. Yes, we're
why
getting ready
not?
for the weekend.
Yeah. So how does a teacher from Mitchell's Plain end up being Miss Drag 2017?
Well, I've gotten into drag some years ago,
Yeah.
roughly 9 years ago. I've always watched pageants on TV growing up, and so I was this little boy watching Miss South Africa and Miss World,
Yeah.
and I was fascinated by the glitz and the glamour, and I knew that I couldn't enter the real Miss South Africa or the real Miss World one day, and so drag was that access
It was
for
that
me.
avenue.
Yes.
So what was it like the first time going into this transformation?
Yes, well, so the first time I thought I was fabulous and I'm going to slay the stage, and then I didn't win, I didn't even make top 5. But I persevered and I went on and on and on, and today I'm Miss Drag South Africa.
Congratulations.
And that's the key, you have to persevere.
Oh, yes, they're lessons.
So-
So what is the role of Miss Drag? Like you wearing the crown.
Yes.
What have you been doing this past year?
So Miss Drag South Africa, the pageant, creates a platform for drag artists to enter. So you have to be born male and explore the art form of drag. And then you go through what any pageant is like. You go through the swimwear section, which is not my favorite part. But you go through the swimwear
Why?
section. No, I do not like the swimwear section.
Okay.
No, not at all. So you go through the swimwear section. You go through a theme wear section where you have to create a costume that depicts South Africa, your interpretation of South Africa, and then your evening wear section. And then you get cut down to the normal top 5, as you see on television.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite part, because that's where I pull ahead of the competition. And you
So
win.
you know your edge.
I do know my edge, and I've got a mouth on me, so I can use it.
Really? So when the question session comes up,
I'm
you're
waiting
able
for
to
it.
run ahead.
I am waiting for that. That is my favorite part.
Okay, so maybe let's do a quick role play. I'm the compere.
Yes.
I'm the MC.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask you a typical pageant
Yes.
question. Are they typical, by the way, in these pageants?
They are typical, but because it's a drag pageant, it's more focused on LGBTI-related issues. But you can ask me a typical question.
Yes.
That's
so
fine.
the question, here you are.
Yes.
Zealand, congratulations to getting into the top 5.
Thank you so much.
So if you were to win this crown, what would you do in order to advance this culture, this art form of drag?
Well, I definitely think that we are all able to take that fight up. And so what I would do is I would bring my own flair, uniqueness, and talent, and I would take the brand further to showcase drag to the whole world, because I believe in South Africa, we just have that passion to pull ahead.
Yay! There we go, there we go.
I hope you gave me a 10.
I'm not the judge.
Okay,
Our
you're the
audience is the
MP.
judge. I can't wear all the hats.
Okay.
So how did your community receive you? I mean, are you open about it?
I drag more often than the people think. Because I'm Miss Drag South Africa, I do have to keep up appearances, so I do have to always be at a charity event or some form of other event that I have to be seen. I mean, I have to be seen to be believed, otherwise people won't believe that I'm Miss Drag South Africa.
Yeah.
And so they are open. You do get your negative comments and your snares and your people pulling up their chins and noses, but in the main, I have been blessed enough that I've always had a warm reception wherever I went.
Yes. I'm looking at your posture. Even the hands perfectly placed. Was it the coaching after winning
It was the coaching. After 9 years, you're not perfected.
Oh, the back is upright. Beautiful. So how do your students react? Do they know because you are Ahmed during the day?
I am. I'm a teacher by profession. I teach grade 6 in Mitchell's Plain. They know. I'm not going to hide it away from the world and things like that. Drag is my sport. It's like someone playing cricket or soccer at the end of the day. So I have my normal day job and my normal life.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, if I just want to unwind, I dolly myself up in my makeup, my hair, my clothing, and I just have a good time. So the students know, their parents know. Like I said before, not everyone is going to be accepting and welcoming, but the majority of them are, and I'm grateful for that. Even the staff, they love it. They go to all of the shows, and they are just loving their drag.
Oh, that's beautiful. Earlier on,
Yes.
when we talked about the pageant itself, you
Yes.
mentioned that you have to be a man. So why that requirement? Because I thought that drag was open to all gender.
Drag is open to all genders, but for a drag competition, you have to be born male.
Okay.
Miss Drag South Africa is somewhat different because it allows transgender women to enter as well, because we all fall under the umbrella of the LGBTIQ community. So drag, if you look at the acronym drag, it's dress as a girl. So it forms from, you have to be male to dress in drag. Otherwise, you'll be a faux queen if you are a female and dress in drag. So you want to call it a
faux
drag
queen.
queen. Yes, you called a faux queen.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
So-
So we've got names for everyone, darling.
Ooh, what would I be? I mean, I'm not in full drag, but I did kind of try and
No,
up
you're
the
Slay
ante.
Queen.
Slay
Well,
Queen.
you're a Slay Queen.
I
Through
never
and
thought
through
I'd
Slay
earn that
Queen.
title, ever. So here we are for today. I will wear it. I will
You'll be the
wear
Slay
it.
Queen.
Yes.
Yes.
So there are those misconceptions, though, that it is for that it's gay men
Yes.
who wear or who wear drag.
Yes.
But in actual fact, there's a whole host of different people in the community who enjoy it.
And that's what we try to overcome through Miss Drag South Africa. We want to show that you can be a teacher, you can be a lawyer, you can be a doctor, you can be male and want to explore the art form of drag. Because drag is just an extension of your talent and your ability.
Yes.
It's not... For some people, it might be about their sexuality, but in the mainstream, it's an art form.
How do you identify?
I am male by birth, so I am male, but if I'm in my drag form, I consider myself gender non-conforming because I'm telling you, no man looks like this. So I'm not a man right now.
There we go.
I'm a pure
High
woman.
five to
I'm 100% pure beef.
That's funny. So how many types are there? Like, what is the spectrum of what we find within the art form?
Well, you get drag for pageantry, so you get men who dress up in drag to do pageants. You get them to do cabaret or lip syncing. Well, we call it cabaret in Cape Town, but it's simply just lip syncing.
Yes.
You do get people who dress up in drag to do satire, like your Tani Ivita Bezeto to use as her drag to crit the government and things like that in
to
a
create
funny way.
characters.
Yes. So there's many forms, and it's just about what you want to portray. I want to portray the princess pageant girl, so that is what I portray.
So that's what
else-
Zealand is?
That is what Zealand is. She is a pageant girl. She only does pageants. If she's forced to perform, she would, but she doesn't normally perform. She'd rather wear a two-piece swimsuit than perform.
Oh,
Yes.
most
And
comfortable there.
I told you
Rhonda.
before that swimsuit is not my favorite.
So did you have to have any kind of talents to demonstrate as part of the pageant?
As part of the pageant, you go through a talent section, and you can do either poetry, you can do stand-up, you can do lip syncing.
And what's
Lip
your
syncing is
forte?
normally, well, I don't do those type of things, but I did a lip sync performance, and I did a song by a very famous South African singer, Vicky Sampson.
Yes.
So I did my African Dream, and I hope the judges, well, they probably liked it
They
because I won
did.
at the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is the criteria, though? Do you know what they're looking for?
They're looking for someone who can be a spokesperson. They're looking for someone who can be a role model for the community because, in this day and age, we do not find a lot of role models within our communities.
Yeah.
And so we need those strong characters within the community to take the baton forward. I mean, anyone can approach me in the street or in my community, and I would give them advice about life, about drag, about anything they need.
So you're still wearing the crown?
I'm still
For
wearing
how
the
much longer?
crown.
Because it looks so comfortable on
It's
that head.
very comfortable. After a year, it gets quite comfortable. The new winner I crown on the 29th of September in Port Elizabeth. And so Miss Drag South Africa is trying to be a movement where we move around the country to create this awareness about drag. So last year I won in Cape Town, and so this year's pageant is happening on the 29th of September at the Port Elizabeth, sorry, I'm getting tongue twisted, Opera House. And yeah, and so anyone who's in the Port Elizabeth area, please do come and join us and witness a spectacular event.
So what comes next after you? Are there more pageants? Like beyond this, you've conquered South Africa.
I've conquered
What
South Africa. I think that I'm going into hiding from pageants for now, but I would want to serve as a mentor to younger upcoming drag queens, because there are a lot of, and even younger, they are starting young. I mean, I was 25 when I started dragging,
yeah.
and you get children of 12 years old or 13 years old
wow.
starting their drag, and it's all about being comfortable in your own skin.
Isn't that a good sign about how society is evolving?
It's an excellent sign. Why would you closet someone who just wants to express themselves? I think that that is the mindset that we have to change. If I am not harming anyone with what I'm doing, whether I'm 12 years old or 25 years old, why box me into a closet? I'm fabulous and I need to be seen, darling.
Absolutely, and we've loved seeing you.
Thank you.
You'll be back a little bit later,
I will
Queen.
be. I will be. I will be, definitely. I'm not going anywhere.
Absolutely. Well, Zila Naoki will be back a little bit later on. We're taking your questions and your comments throughout the show. So please do feel free to give us a call. Maybe you've caught one of these ladies in a show somewhere. I remember a spectacular burlesque show, unforgettable, and it makes for a great night out. So after the break, we'll chat to talented drag artist and TV personality Betty Bangles. Betty Bangles has blazed the trail in the drag world, landing herself a hosting gig in the South African TV industry. And during the week, Betty is Bernard, and you can catch him at his salon turning everyday women into swans. And also on weekends, you can catch her on stage captivating audiences with her one-woman show. It's such an honor to have you, Queen.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing, Betty?
I'm so good.
You look so fabulous.
Thank you. I basically look good in anything. This is actually just a duvet with glitter.
The creativity is amazing. It's on another level.
Thank you.
So you're from the small town of Mokopane?
Yes.
In Limpopo?
Yes.
So how does a young Bernard growing up in Mokopane come across drag?
You run away after school and you find it elsewhere.
So you found it in Joburg?
Yes, I didn't find it there. Although I did do a little bit of drag in my living room for my parents. I used to do, I don't know if you remember a movie called Panic Mechanic.
Yes, yes.
And there was a song in I'm Blonde. And I used to put up broomsticks in the living room with a blanket and stuff, like a makeshift stage. And I used to perform that for my parents.
And what did they think?
And they loved it. And when people come to visit, they was like, "Ah, do you know a song for Tannie Marty?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, didn't you know? I mean, that was like so many red flags, and not red flags, but some kind of like gay flags.
Yes.
And they never knew.
But
They
since
never knew.
now you've been doing it for 20 years, how do they feel?
Not 20. I'm like,
Not getting your, no, we're not
only
giving away your
17.
age.
Only 17.
Only 17
Only
years.
17 years.
Okay.
yeah.
So are they cool with it? Is the
They
community in
are, they
Mokopane
are.
cool with it?
It's strange. Some are cool with it, some are not. I'm actually having my, well, here comes to 20 years now, my 20-year school reunion on the 15th of September. And so that will be interesting to see
Who are you
how...
going as?
No, no,
Betty?
me. No, not me,
As
as
Bernard.
Bernard. Yes.
Okay.
No, I don't think they're ready for Betty. No. Sorry, I just have to fan, otherwise I look like a water feature. Yeah, so it will be interesting to see how the people I went to school with react. And I mean, obviously, I mean, if they follow social media, they'll know.
Yes.
So it will be interesting to hear the reaction and the opinions. And
I'm sure they'll love it.
yes, but it's still it's a small town. I mean, small towns, they change, but very slowly. In all situations, not only gay. I mean, being in South Africa, small towns tend to be a bit behind.
Yes.
I'm not calling them behind, but yeah.
And you know, there's a lot of confusion when it comes to how people identify and the kind of things that people do as passions.
Yes.
So some people might be confused between, especially if they're not aware of what it means to be transgender, and then they might confuse that with drag. Can you help us with that distinction?
That's what I also tried to do with my TV show.
Yeah.
I wanted to show the people, especially the Afrikaans community, that drag is just a hobby or a job or just like it's something you do. It's not who you are.
Yes.
Where transgender, that is your being. And I'm not transgender, and I don't have any problems with transgender people, but people confuse the two. So they think, oh, he's wearing a dress, he wants to be a girl.
Yes.
And I'm very happy being a man. But yeah, so I always try to give that message out to people.
Right. You obviously have to have a lot of skills. I expected suitcase upon suitcase, a team of people just swanning and faffing around you the whole time. But you did all of this.
I did, yes.
So you have to have a lot of skills, talent, lots of talent for makeup, for hair.
Yeah, well, hair, I mean, I'm a hairstylist by day, so that helps to klits the bola. And the makeup, I mean, this didn't happen overnight. I mean, when I just started out, I used to call myself Bernice.
Oh, Bernice Bernard, I can see that.
No, you don't want to see that. Bernice looked as sad as she sounds.
Oh.
No, it was terrible. But over the years, it evolved, and I went bigger with the makeup and eventually got more polished.
So who is Betty?
Who is Betty?
Yes, like what kind of, what is she into? What is her character?
Betty's into men. No, I'm joking. Well, no, I'm not joking, but you know. Betty is very, some will call her slightly bitchy, but I just call her honest.
Right.
I mean, there's a fine line between being bitchy and being honest.
There is.
And sometimes I cross it. But yeah, yeah, she's complete opposite than Bernard.
Really?
Completely.
Yes, because
Bernard
we've seen...
is quite shy and quite the introvert, actually.
So this allows you to show the other side to your character.
To say what I want and to do what I want.
Because you have license when you're Betty.
License to drag.
So how's it changed over the years? As you said, in the 17 years, I'm sure you've seen changes in the business.
Oh, yes, well, drag in general.
Yeah.
It changed tremendously. I mean, like you said earlier, RuPaul changed this drag scene completely. Drag used to be something that you get dressed and you quickly jump in the car, go to the club, and then go home and no one can see you outside of the club.
Yeah,
and
or even know your real identity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. And now, I mean, you dress up and be on TV. And it's yeah, so it really changed over the years and it's more accepted. And that comes with having knowledge about it.
Yes.
So people are very ignorant about stuff if they don't know what it's about. So just allow yourself to be open and get the knowledge.
Yes, get with the knowledge, get with the changes in the world. So we see you now like this, but earlier on you treated us to a performance. What is your show like? What do you do?
My show is very, I love Broadway. I live for Broadway, I dream about Broadway. So most of my songs have a touch of Broadway in it.
Yes.
So it's either a Broadway number I'll perform or making fun of a Broadway star, like I did earlier with the Sarah Brightman number, which pokes fun of the star. So I like to do comedy, but not in-your-face slapstick comedy.
Right.
Like a twist of a word here and there, or a wink of the eye, or a bit of innuendos here and there.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, luckily we got to catch you and pre-record it and we'll be playing it in a minute. But we actually have a caller for you. Dinyiko, welcome to Real Talk. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you. I'd like to know, he said, hello, everyone in studio.
Hi, Dinyiko.
I'd like to know, he talked about men doing drag. So I'd like to know, are there women also doing drag? Like, are there women acting as men
Ah, I
in
see.
the
Okay.
drag community?
Fantastic. Thank you for the question, Tinyuko.
Yes, definitely there are. They actually call themselves drag kings. And on that also, I mean, there's lots of women that does drag like we do. There's a few well-known ones in the States.
Right.
But yeah, women that dress up as men, they call themselves drag kings.
Yes.
Yes.
And they are there.
Yeah.
But also, some people also go for characters that aren't necessarily specific to a particular gender. Because some are almost like futuristic characters.
Yeah, like more androgynous and
characters.
yes.
So it's all about the creativity
Yes,
that you bring
and
into
that's
it.
what's so fun about drag. Doesn't matter if you drag as a man or as a woman, there's no rules.
Yes.
Someone asked me the other day, what's the big no-no in drag? There are no no-nos.
Right.
Because you create a character, and who can say to you that, oh no, you can't do that for your character? I mean, it's your character. So there's no no-nos in
Yes,
drag. You
that's
can do whatever
incredibly
you want. You
liberating,
can
eh?
do whatever look you want. If you want to draw eyebrows going up to your scalp,
Hairline.
do that.
It's
So,
how you
yeah.
interpret it. Well, you know what, Betty? I have been waiting for this moment. You did your performance earlier on, and now we'll get to show it to our viewers. Thank you. Thank you for the treat.
Thank you so much.
And with that, let's take you to a moment, the performance that we recorded a little bit earlier on with Betty Bangles.
And now, direct from her concert tour, the ex-Mrs. Lloyd Webber, Sarah Brightman.
Time I said goodbye, my welcome is wearing thin. I'd best turn my union card in. I've had a terrible time with keys too high. You'll suffer when I do trills. You'll get the wrong kind of chills. I should be charged with a crime for what I've done to opera and phantom on stage. 10 years ago I was the rage. Now everybody agrees. It's time I said goodbye.
Welcome back to Real Talk on SABC3, where the stage is yours. And today, we really have opened up the stage. The world of drag is filled with fantasy and glamour, and it gives one the freedom to live out their wildest dreams and oftentimes escapism as well. And that's what we all need, in fact, from our daily lives. It's all about the big hair, exaggerated eyelashes, cheeky stage names, and strutting your stuff better. Well, our guests actually do it better than most women can. Maybe I need a drag name. Maybe you should suggest one. Drop us a tweet. It's at Real Talk on 3 to suggest what kind of drag name I should have. Right now, I'm joined by Selwyn Thomas, more popularly known as Shanae Churchill. Check that out. Quite a cool name. And Shanae joins us now on the Real Talk couch. Welcome, Shanae.
Thank you so much.
So that's a nice ring. It has a nice ring to it.
Yes,
Your name.
Churchill.
Yeah,
Winston.
Shanae
Yes,
Churchill.
he left something behind in South Africa when he was, yeah.
Oh,
And this,
this
I'm
is
the finished, the
it.
end product, yes.
This is it. Winston Churchill left something behind. So how does the name come about? Because it requires creativity.
Yes, it does. Well, my first pageant that I did was Miss Rio many moons ago in Springs, and
Rio in Springs.
yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah.
But anyways, they asked me to write down my name. So I wrote down Shanae. And
Was this from Martin, the TV show?
no,
Or not
yes,
at all?
yes, yes, yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
yeah.
And when they called me out on stage, they called me out as Shane. So I said, no, 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 my name is Shanae, and that's where it stuck.
Right.
Yes.
And then Churchill because it just adds a nice ring.
Actually, a very good friend of mine gave me that surname. It wasn't Churchill in the beginning, it was Adams. Where that comes from, I don't know, but anyways.
But you were born Selwyn Thomas.
Yes, yes, yes.
And you work as a store manager.
Yes, I do.
During the day.
Yes, I do.
So, does everybody know in the store, by the way?
Yes. They even want me to come dressed up to work, and I'm like, oh, hell no.
You're not
gonna
paying.
happen. No, no, no. Costs money to look like this, auntie.
Absolutely. So, did it take you a long time to refine the look, to refine the act? How much work is involved in that?
Lots of work, lots of work. You've got to study your characters, whoever you are performing, like I do Tina Turner. And you've got to study every move, every gesture, even with the song, with doing the song, the breathing, when she stops, and yeah, so it's a lot of work.
It is,
love it.
quite closely. I actually didn't think about that side of it. My focus was more on the aesthetic and, of course, the presentation that we see now. And I didn't think much about the kind of study that's involved.
No, you have to.
And the practice.
Yes.
Yes.
You've got
So
to
how
know
much-
every word
Yeah.
to the last T, the last I that started. You've got to know everything.
Gosh, that's a lot of work. So how much time do you devote to it?
Well, usually when I'm alone, or I'm driving, or I'm at home alone, I put on a CD, listen to the song, and listen to it over and over and over and over that it becomes so monotonous that I know the words by the end of the day. So yeah,
So how long have you been doing this, and what led you into drag?
it was 1998. I was 20 years
I like
old.
this the naughty laugh. What was going on?
One of my friends, Michaela, she dared me to enter a competition, and I'm not really a pageant queen, but I have won some pageants. And I decided, no, because I love the stage, I used to do drama at school and whatnot, and I decided, no, I want to be a showgirl.
So you weren't doing it privately before that, for your friends?
For my friends, no, only once.
Okay.
Only once, that was at school.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she thought, what, you would do great at this?
Yes, yes.
You entered the competition.
I entered the competition and didn't come anywhere. And carried on entering competitions like Miss Gay Gauteng and all these little club competitions. And
Yes.
I decided after that, no, I want to be on stage, I want to perform.
Was there something quite attractive? You enjoyed that?
I enjoy the stage. I
The
love
performance
the stage.
part of
I love
it.
the performance part of it, yes.
Wow. Well, we've got a caller. We've got a caller on the line right now. Snow White, calling from Cape Town. Good evening, Snow White. Thank you for calling in.
Hi, thank you for taking the call.
Sure. Your thoughts, your comments, or question?
Okay, so I know Sinead personally. Hi, Sinead. So I used to brag a long time ago with Sinead, and I can just say that Sinead has been an absolutely wonderful role model and absolutely wonderful to take me under her wing. And just so many other drag artists as well under her wing, and I've involved many, much more since then. So I'm going to say love and hugs and light and kisses to Sinead.
Oh, thank you, Snowy. Thank you so much.
So that's a friend of
Okay.
yours?
Yes, it is.
Right. Well, the call wasn't so clear. What's the history?
Oh, Snow White, I met many, many years ago, and I took her under my wing and, you know, helped her with now and then with makeup and whatnot, and she grew and she blossomed into this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful queen.
Yes.
And yeah, now she's in Cape Town.
So how competitive is the space then? Is it very competitive? Considering all the pageants, I mean, every single one of our guests tonight has mentioned pageants.
Pageants are very competitive, yes. And I don't like the tension that's all involved in it, you know, so I prefer to be on my own, doing what I do best, and that's performing and not entering pageants, no.
Right. And then the opportunities to perform, are we seeing more and more places opening up, allowing for there to be a drag show as part of whatever is available?
Yes, they are. We currently, we are a group of four, we're called Menopause.
Why on earth?
It's men. Oh, pause.
Okay. Great place.
And we perform every Friday night at Beefcakes Silova and every Saturday night in Beefcakes Pretoria.
Yes.
Yes.
So you're the resident act.
Fridays, yeah, and Saturdays.
And so-
And
okay.
there are other acts that also perform on various nights of the week as
And
well.
how does the audience receive it?
Oh, they love it. They love it.
It
They
is
love
beautiful, though. So
Yes.
earlier I was trying to come up with the name. What should I be called?
Ariel Bublé.
Ariel Bublé. Ariel Bublé. Ariel, I like that.
Do you like it?
Yes, I like that. And I should come up with a character. So
Yes, you
who
should.
is Shanae then? How would you describe Shanae?
Oh, Shanae is a social butterfly. Shanae loves to party. But when it comes to work, Shanae is very serious when she has to perform. And she's been to only once that she went to perform and she was a bit intoxicated.
Oh.
And yeah, nobody liked it, but I enjoyed myself.
Learned. Enjoyed myself. So how different is Shanae from Selwyn?
Totally, totally different.
Nothing in common?
Nothing in common. Nothing in common.
But how then do you have that separation? Because one would think that maybe Selwyn has the same work ethic, like hardworking, or the same kind of humor.
Well, in a way they do, but Shanae is more out there and Selwyn is more introverted.
Oh, I see.
Shanae is an extrovert.
And how do you go through life on a daily basis? Are you like in regular, like whatever, however men present at work, what's required?
Yes, I wear my jeans, I wear
Yeah.
a t-shirt or jersey with my hoodie.
With the hoodie?
Yes, it's cold in there. It was winter.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for summer for it to heat up a bit, so I won't be there with the hoodie.
So do you
During
enjoy
the day,
this?
I'm
Yeah.
dressed as a boy.
And escapism? It allows you to have that escapism.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it a release though, like from the tension, from the stress, from the regular serious,
Seriousness of the
stressful
life,
part of
yeah,
life?
yeah. Shanae is, she brings out something else in me.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially with the different types and colors of hair that she wears.
What about the hair?
It determines her personality for
So
that
she's
night.
got different looks.
Yes, she has.
So what does this hair then guarantee us for the evening?
She's more placid and she is quiet.
So if it was,
Red, she's out there, baby. She wants a bottle of tequila right now.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Why did you have to bring the placid and quiet Shanae with you today? Hey?
I have to, my mom's watching. Hi, Mom.
Right. Let's hear from Candace calling from the East Rand. Good evening, Candace.
Good evening, Azania. How are you?
We're having fun. I hope you are as well.
I'm good. I'm so excited to see my drag mom here on TV.
Oh.
Hey, hi.
Hi, Candace.
How are you doing?
Good in you, baby girl.
I'm so excited. No, I just want to leave a comment. I don't have much to say. I just want to say Shanae is such a very, very amazing soul. I grew up under her. She took me under her wing. Whenever I enter beauty pageant, she's always there to teach me. And one thing that I love most about her, it's not only about being a puppet or just being a drag, but there's also discipline in there that she's also teaching us, and which I believe is also activism as the LGBTIQA plus community. Because being a drag, it takes so much. Remember that more especially in the black community, some people when they see you being a drag artist, they still having that stigma of you being a homosexual or whatnot and labeling you according to them. But other than that, love you. I'm so excited to see you. And
Love you too, baby.
Thank you for the call.
Seems like everybody that I know is calling
Exactly,
you today.
supporting and rooting for you. Such
Yes.
great things to say as well.
Yes.
So in some communities, do you find that in the colored community there's still stigma? In black communities as well,
Oh,
in general?
big time, big time, big time. But I love the girls so much, and where I can help them, I help them.
Yes, yes.
Like Candace, for instance, she entered a competition in Davidson, I think it was, and she needed some help with an outfit and whatnot. And I said to her, look, baby, I've got. That's why she calls me a grandma.
Because you call her a
So I
baby.
said to her, come to
Alright.
me and I'll sort you out.
Oh, I think the industry can only get better.
Yes.
Thank you, Shanae. You're staying right there. Well, after the break, we continue our conversation with all the ladies right here on the couch, and we'll see you in a bit. So feel free to call on the number below if you have any questions or comments for my guests this evening. Well, Welcome back to Real Talk. We've almost come to the end of our show this evening. We've been exploring the fascinating world of drag in South Africa. And joining me on the couch is Miss Drag 2017 Zealand, TV personality and performer Betty Bangles, as well as comedic performer Shanae Churchill, whose performance you'll be seeing as we close off the show a little bit later on. Welcome back, ladies.
Thank you.
So we'll be playing a game in a short while, but before we get to the game, I still want to understand a couple of things. So the supporting parts of drag, the costumes, the other areas of it, like what else goes into it that we don't see? Like how difficult is it to source the looks, to get access to the shoes, to the hair and everything else that you need?
There's lots you don't see. And you don't want to see. The hours of shaving and tucking and strapping in, and I'm actually the size of a bus. I'm teeny tiny now.
But look at you now, yes.
I'm petite.
Well, luckily I wear a size 7 shoe, so it's easy for me to find shoes.
Right.
Yeah, Bernard needs
Yeah,
to...
I'm a bit bigger.
Oh, what size are you?
A size 13.
So what do you do?
She's the size
I
queen.
import, unfortunately.
Wow.
Yes, there's a few places that stock shoes, but yeah, you have to order it from the
Overseas,
States.
yes. And what else do you get from abroad? Or is everything else pretty
my
accessible?
wigs, yes, wigs as
Wow.
well. Because you get nice wigs in South Africa, but they cater for women. They don't cater for drag queens. So if you are a drag queen with a like over-the-top character like myself, you have to order wigs.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
Is this a career that one can live off on? Because you all do different things during the day, during the week, so to speak. But can it be a full-on career?
Yes, it can be.
It's starting to get there.
It's starting to get
It's starting to get there, especially with the influence of RuPaul and the American drag scene. They've proven that it can work. So definitely, I don't know what drag is like in Johannesburg because I'm based in Cape Town.
Yes.
But drag is huge in Cape Town, and so we have a lot of artists who do drag for a living.
Wow.
Yes. So it's definitely getting there. We're not there yet, but we're getting there.
I mean, I'm looking at 3 stars over here. Why aren't you guys doing it full-time yet?
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Dedication, a lot of work.
And not only that, I mean, it's unfortunately in South Africa, it's getting to be mainstream, but it's not there yet.
Yeah.
You have drag queens like Kathy Specific, Brendan van Rijn, who opened his own theatre and is doing it 5 nights a week.
Right.
But you have to do it for yourself. It's not like in the States that there's a place and you can walk in and I'm doing drag and I hire you. We are fortunate at Beefcakes that we can perform weekly.
Yes.
But there's not a lot of venues, so that's why it's not a full-time job yet.
As yet, yes. So, Shanae, what's the future? Because it's still quite niche. Some still consider it to be a niche part of the show business industry.
Shanae wants to go, she wants to go big. She wants to go big. She wants to travel the world like Betty is doing. Betty's going to, can I say?
I was born big.
Where are you off to?
Well, you can say, well, I'm off to New York next year,
Nice.
June, and there might or might not be a performance at a very well-known gay venue.
Ooh, all right. That's great news. Let's get the game started. Please pick up your pedals. So how it works is that we're going to show you red carpet looks, and you have to give an indication whether it was fab or drag. But the trick is that drag is fab.
Drag is
Yeah, so there's that fine line. So let's go for our first look, and you give me your thoughts, and you just show and indicate with your pedals, and we'll get your thoughts. Yes. Ooh. Is that drag or fab?
Definitely.
Ooh, okay, so Betty, why is that drag? Why is that drag?
It's very Morticia. I see a character. I don't see fashion.
Ooh.
If-
Okay.
Yeah.
Morticia, you said.
Morticia Adams, yeah.
Right, let's go for our second look. That's quite definitive. Let's try the second one and see what the jury says. Ooh, Mariah Carey with some fur.
She's a big old drag.
Wow. It's unanimous.
Yes, it is.
What about it, Shanae?
The person.
Yes. She's a big old crybaby.
Ooh. Why so much hate for Mariah?
No, there's no hate. Not throwing shade.
There's the next one, Queen Bee herself. What do you think of that, especially with the detail of the cape at the back? Undecided, undecided Zealand?
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. It's fab and drag. It's
Yes, it is.
I would
So
do
it's
it
there.
without the cape.
Without.
But isn't Bonang a drag queen? I mean, she's gorgeous. She's stunning.
She's gonna slap you.
She is an inspiration. No, she's an inspiration, and she is a drag queen. I'm not
Here
being that
come the
condescending way. I'm
fans,
just saying
they're
that
going
she's a
to
drag
drag
queen. Bonang, I love you a lot.
You
and
have
I'm always
security
copying you.
outside.
I'm always copying your style, darling.
you? Okay.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
excuse, Banam.
Yeah. All right, let's go for the next one before you get yourself into more trouble. Beyonce. I don't think it's a winning look overall.
Yeah.
You think it's fab?
It's
Yeah.
fab.
Okay. For me, I don't think it's a star winning look overall. But here come the Beyonce fans coming after me too.
I'm not a
So
fan
let's see
at
that
all.
again. What was the verdict? All right, so 1 drag, 2 fab. I think we've got one more. Let's do this again. What do you think of her style, by the way, Beyonce in general?
Beyonce,
Yeah.
stunning. Love it.
You love
It's
her
better
style.
than a singing.
That's a lot of shade.
Or shouting,
There's one
should I
more.
say.
There's the last one. What do you think? All round, it's unanimous again.
unanimous.
It's unanimous. So what's the difference then? What would you say? Just quick summary. Like, is it the feathers? Is it the cape? What makes something drag and what makes something, I guess, fab?
Something
red
over the
carpet?
top. Something over the top. Definitely sequence. You want to see something, someone sparkle. I mean, you want to walk on stage and you'll be able to see that person on the moon.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is my toned down interpretation.
No, but that's stunning. That is absolutely fab. Drag.
Oh, a fab drag.
Fab drag.
Oh, I thought I would
Gaga
get a...
Mitriana.
Who's that?
Gaga?
Gaga
Lady Gaga.
Mitriana.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Right, I'm still trying to come up with the name. And hopefully you've contributed to this quest of mine. So you can tweet, what drag name should I have? And you can tweet at Real Talk on 3. So thank you so much to all the ladies tonight. But join us after the break because we're bringing you a sizzling performance from Betty Bangles. No, actually, it's Shanae.
Yes,
Shanae,
it's
you're
me.
next. Yes, it's Shanae's
You just love
performance.
Betty, eh?
Again.
I'd like to thank all my guests for joining me this evening. I hope you guys at home had as much fun as I did. We've come to the end of the show, so please join us again next week, Monday, for a thrilling conversation with some of South Africa's modern-day sangomas. I'm pretty sure that that's going to be an interesting one. And now, here to take us out with her one-woman performance, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Shanae Churchill.
You wanna take me cruising on an ocean liner to places I long to see? Well, with my champagne taste and your beer bottle pocket, don't forget to write me when you get there in your rowboat, when you've paddled across the sea without me. Do you see us dining on caviar and pheasant with descendants of royalty? Well, with my champagne taste and your beer bottle pocket, I'll be having pheasant while you're dining with the peasants, dunking donuts in a diner without me. You said you have ambition to make my dream come true. Well, brother, you just keep right on wishing, and all of my dreams will come true without you. Do you see me in a Jaguar with all the accessories, and one of those accessories is you? Well, with my champagne taste and your beer bottle pocket, Take back your Jaguar, accessories, etc., and drive back into your dreamland without me. And if I wanted diamonds, you'd offer me breakfast at Tiffany's and luncheon at Cartier's you'd recommend. Well, with my champagne taste and your beer bottle pocket, you will have to work on something better than a zircon, because your diamonds are this girl's worst friend. You said you'd promise me anything to make my life a feast. You didn't give me anything, not even arpege, you beast. And it wouldn't surprise me if a lady like Godiva had someone like you to give her the stall. For with her champagne taste and your beer bottle pocket, when she couldn't get those dresses, she just let down all her tresses and forgot she was a lady after all. So if you want me to be a part of your permanent employ, before my champagne fizzles, come up with a real McCoy. Show me you can separate the man from the boy. Bring me a constant life of champagne taste.
That's cheeky.
Real Talk is proudly sponsored by Huawei P20 Pro and MTN.
Each week for 10 weeks, we're giving away the latest Huawei P20 Pro and 10 gigabytes once-off MTN data to 10 amazing storytellers. All you have to do is share your special moments with us. Follow at Huawei ZA and at MTN ZA and tag us with hashtag Huawei P20 and hashtag Real Talk Moments. We want to see and hear your stories and create lasting connections across the country. Each week there's a different theme, so keep checking our social pages for details and you could be a winner.